Hey guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Today we're back on the test server with our free-to-play account. So if you've seen the video a little bit earlier, there is a new event that's going on, which is the Bountiful Bounties. So they're actually doubling the reward that you get from the bounty board, which is absolutely awesome. As you can see here, we do have some quests that are starting to get much higher, getting into the mythic quests. Once we get to level 6, the rare quests actually drop out, so it'll just be elite, legendary, and mythic. I always recommend refreshing it just because when you have blue quests and when you have these purple quests here, spending 50 gems to actually get some of these to mythic would be definitely beneficial. Problem with this account right now is I only have one mythic hero, which is Chimera, that we've been working on. So on the team quests unfortunately do not count towards the double loot. So we'll go ahead and we'll collect everything up. I did want to do my summons. I haven't live streamed this account in quite a while, so I wanted to make sure that we got some of our summons out of the way. We're hoping for quite a few heroes, especially Lucius. We need another copy of Lucius. He is our primary tank. Rose follows Chimera at this point, which she's going to be. What's going on, guys? Yeah, face cam finally. I know, right? So like I was saying, Rose follows Chimera because we already have Chimera to Ascended. She is the hero that we were focused primarily on from the beginning. But if you've looked at the polls that I did this weekend, I have triple Pharrell and I have triple Nara already. So just needing one copy essentially to get them to Legendary, one more for Legendary Plus. The 2 copies required to get them to Ascended. We're only 2 copies shy on either of those. What's going on, Fresh and Chris, Mohammed, John, and Donnie? Wilder team, Arden I built just because I had Arden there. We definitely like to get Iran up, definitely like to get Tassie up. We have a lot of good heroes. And looking at it now, we can actually take these 2 out of the Resonating Crystal, giving us the ability to move everybody past the 141 mark, which will make a huge difference, especially with Lucius going past the 141. Yeah, Graveborn pulls on this account have been crazy. Not only getting Chimera up and getting the copies out of the Peaks of Time, but we've gotten really lucky with her overall. So at this point, though, we are going to drop Chimera out of here, and I'm thinking probably to pick up Thorin, Baden, or Grez. Isolde I like. I have him at 1 star Ascended on my main account. Problem is he dies pretty quick. Is Demora good for high chapters? She is, Mohammed. She's pretty good in higher chapters because she is the only real true healer. 3 of the 4 abilities heal. And the 4th one is CC, which is super powerful. But Kelthar here, I think I'm going to go with Thorin. Just that way we can work on the Thorin cheese. Wilder, this is the team we're building. If you look here, Namora and Tassie are a perfect shell. Iran and Leica support that shell. Solus, I would love to build. I'm still trying to build her on any of the account. Can I add you? I played daily. Sure, Shadow. Yeah, you can add me. Send a request. Mauler heroes. So we have Screg here with Brutus, which will be our tanks. Sophia and Verk is our primary DPS with Skarath. So a perfect combination here. Belinda, we're not really too worried about right now because we're not running Belinda Rose combo. We're running Chimera and Belinda. So still very solid there. Lucius, Rowan, and Rose for support, and still want to build Cecilia. So let's go ahead and get into our summons here. So we'll start actually with our soul stones. I'm not even sure how many I got. I got enough for 1. Hopefully we can get some good pulls here. Copy of Naru. Definitely need some food. He's a tank with life leech. Who? Brutus has a heal. Not so much. He gets a tiny bit of life leech, but not too much. K-Sauce is the big one that brings the life leech, especially to the Mauler team. I know, Javid, a lot of people do. Finally got the webcam today. Tons and tons of people have actually been requesting it. I'm coming here live from Detroit, Michigan. So up where the weather changes every single day. Yesterday it was 71 degrees. I think Friday we're supposed to have snow. So anyone who's from around here gets super warm and then super cold, which is very odd. just for where we're at though. So we'll go ahead, we'll collect up all of these, we'll collect up all of our loots, we'll go ahead and get into the summons. We'll start with our friendship summons, hoping we get 2 or 3 good pulls out of here. Build on Tundra and Santana. Got an elite there, who is a copy of Iran. Very, very nice. Definitely, when it comes to the Wilder team, he is the main specific class you have to have. Without Iran and another elite, we have 2 for 2 elites with companion points. Sophia. Very nice. Super powerful Mauler. Her static field ability and her falling sun ability do a truckload of damage. So 2 very good summons, solid right off the bat. We'll go ahead and we will get into our scrolls and then quite a bit of gems here. And I've actually accumulated these. This account is 100% free to play on the test server, and I do love playing for the test server. Another elite there who is Nara. All right, so we have a ton of copies of Nara. Like I said, last summons I did on this account, I pulled 4 copies of Nara. So we add another copy. We need 1 more copy of Nara, and then we could actually get her to Ascended if we have the food. Yeah, first time with the phase cam, Willow. So if you see my crazy office, I have a whole bank of computers back here, and then my son's computer's on this side, the little colorful one on the floor. So we got Iran up, which is awesome. That might be enough to get him up a little bit higher. Smart ascends, we'll go ahead and auto ascend, giving us some more food. Definitely quite a bit of food there. So let's go ahead and we'll complete it. I think we got 1 more summon here. Hopefully it's going to be a good one, and then we'll go ahead and we'll hit up another elite. Super lucky with the pulls in Thorin. Look at that. Oh, we just put Thorin Cheese into the wish list, and there he is. So absolutely crazy summons. Not multiple summons, but I think we pulled one just about every time. Definitely got a lot of sigils in that pull. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll check out the Elder Tree. 2 more points are not enough. I think I'm going to go probably with the Ranger Tree at this point. But there's not really a hero in here we use. We'll go for the Tank Tree. We can always reset it later. I got a lot of these out of the Chests of Wishes. If you remember the Chests of Wishes. Since my tree is only on, this middle piece is only 15, you can only cap at 10 levels under your tree, meaning these 2, level 5 are the cap. So unfortunately right now, that is the cap until we get the tree itself more powerful, which we'll go ahead and look at Ascensions. I want to see if we can summon another stone. Nobody there. Labyrinths. If you haven't been running the Labyrinth, start running the Labyrinth. It's crazy. As you can see here, we bought Shamira and we bought Scrag. Scrag, definitely a super powerful tank. Not only his damage mitigation, but his stun that he gets. Same with your Challenger tournament, making sure you're pushing the Challenger tournament as far as you can. All right, so let's see who we can work on here. We do have double copies there, which again, we want to save Cecilia, we want to save Rose. So even if we got some of our food up, we don't have anyone. We don't have anyone that we can get up with the light bearers. And these are the primary 4 that you want to keep. A lot of other heroes are interchangeable, but those are kind of the 4. So we do need 1 more fodder hero, and we could get somebody up to Mythic there. So looking at the Maulers, we'll go ahead and get up the Anakira. So here, kind of the same thing. I got Screg up with the last copy that I bought from the Labyrinth store, but building probably Brutus and Verk are going to be in time. These 2 are fodder, and I believe we do have 1 fodder hero. No, we don't have anyone. So the Maulers, nobody who are going to be able to. Is Leica SI worth going to 30? No, Donnie. Leica past 20. There's so many more heroes that are way, way more beneficial. Getting up to 30. Leica's plus 20 is where you should probably keep her. All right, so looking at our Wilders. Iran I'm going to build, which we would have a lot of food, but he would just sit at Mythic. Graveborn again. I keep coming back to Graveborn, which even here Copies of Nara, copies of Nara, copies of Pharrell, Oden. We got our copy of Thorint and another copy of Nara, so nobody high enough to get up to legendary. We need, again, one more fodder. I don't want to use Pharrell and Nara, and I don't want to use Oden. So we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait. We're kind of at a holding pattern here. We did pull a copy of the twins. Or no, we got a copy of the twins a little bit ago. Mine's ascended, almost ascended Lucius. Lucius, very, very cool. Brutus is good, but he drops off a little bit later. Oden, I've heard, is an absolute beast. I would love to build him if I could ever pull copies of him. Like I said, between Pharrell and Nara, I've pulled, I think, 5 copies in like a couple days, which is kind of crazy. This became a Graveborn. Yeah, the thing with Graveborns is they're super, super powerful, but they take a lot to get off the ground. If you watch my Graveborn account, Graveborn was dead last up until probably chapter, I'd say roughly chapter 16. Once we got past chapter 16, we were able to make a ton of progression, and they actually pushed to the number 2 spot. It just takes a lot of time to get them off the ground, and a lot of power with signature items and a lot of ascended. You have 2 Naru and 1 Savannah. 2 Naru and 1 Savannah. Well, if I use Naru to get him up, I need a 3rd one. Or I need a 4th one. I need a 4th one to go legendary plus. Or if I just use the food, but I try not to make him to legendary. I try to minimum Mundo, take him to legendary plus. Because as you can see, most of the team that I have here is legendary plus. Just because essentially right now the copy will just sit there. And depending what I can get for food, kind of the advancement, and I know Javid kind of tuned me into this, is when you get a hero, there's kind of 2 stopping points. Making sure that you can take a hero to legendary plus is the first kind of stopping point, and then getting your double elite copies so you can take that legendary plus hero all the way to ascended with your 2 copies of your elite. So making sure that you have enough elite fodder or elite heroes that when you move them to mythic or mythic plus, you can take them right to ascended because you already have the copies. So you're not really getting stalled out with a bunch of heroes at legendary, getting them to legendary plus and kind of parking them there till you build up enough fodder till you can take them to ascended. That way you know what copies you have. So even if I ascended Pharrell or got legendary Pharrell right now, looking in the team comp, I probably wouldn't put him in, so he'd just be another hero that would kind of sit there. Yeah, and that's what happens, is you get a lot of heroes that are stuck before you can get them up any further. There's a few exceptions to it. Some heroes I moved to legendary, like Lucius, just out of need. Same with Rowan. Rowan's a hero that will do super, super well, even at lower levels, even at elite, even at legendary. And he's a hero that I would never fodder. So until you get him to 5 stars would really be the only way. But making sure that you're building him up regardless of where he's at. So essentially I'm waiting for legendary plus, 1 more copy of him elite plus to get him legendary plus. What's going on, Sureg? In La Zelda? So making sure that we kind of park them at legendary plus. That way, even if you know you're not going to use them for food, you're not using all of your food to get them up. Like I've said before, looking back at my main account, if I could go ahead and reset my account, even if Lilith charged like 10,000 diamonds to reset your account, to reset signature items or something, I would definitely do it, because my signature items are spread so sparsely between all my heroes, which is why I don't have so many plus 30 signature items. It's because I have a lot of 20 pluses. Once I used legendary Rosa as fodder for Belinda. Yeah, I've heard that, Donnie. A lot of people use Pharrell as fodder back in the game. When you look at my account, and everybody laughs because I have a 5-star Rain. I don't know if you've seen the 5-star Rain. And everybody says, you know, unanimously fodder. Hey, got to legend. Look at that, rank 50. With her being unanimously fodder, she was my first hero that I ever got to Ascended, was Rain. So pretty cool to get a very first hero to Ascended. And this was about a year ago, so we were pretty limited with heroes at that point. And at that point, Chimera and Brutus kind of ran the game for the most part. So what do you guys got going on today? Now that I finally have a webcam and you guys can see me. So many people have been requesting a webcam. It's funny if you look at the YouTube comments and everything. Some accounts are definitely another by luck. No, Muhammad, all of the rates are the same. I mean, Lilith has said it over and over again. All of the rates, all of the drop rates, all of these Stargazer pulls, they're all the same rates. It's just random luck, honestly. The more pulls you do, the more lucky you get, is how I feel. It seems like when I'm doing mass pulls that I pull a lot more heroes, just like we did now. I think we got like 5 or 6 elites out of that, and we only did, I think, 6 summons. So we were pretty good rates. I think maybe 1 or 2 we didn't pull an elite. So usually with this is I'll do 1 or 2 pulls here, and then we'll go to the campaign so we can do our push. What I'm trying to do essentially is get my heroes up a little bit higher. That way when I come back to continue to push or continue to try the Twisted Essence bosses, my heroes are a lot higher level. Today was my sister's birthday. That's very cool, Mondo. My cousin just turned 50 a couple days ago, and we had our whole family on Zoom. So they did a giant surprise Zoom meeting for him. It was really, really cool. Try to celebrate any way you can right now, especially spending time with family. This week I'm at work. Last week I was at work. This week I'm at work. Next 2 weeks I'll actually be at home. So I'll be working from home. So not technically at home, but still at home, which is pretty cool. My free-to-play is still on 20. You're getting there. I mean, free-to-play is a whole different animal if you're not spending money. Yeah, exactly. Free-to-play just takes time. That's it. Progression comes with time. Progression comes with luck. Big thing with free-to-play is just making sure that you are making the most of the events. Where every summon, every pull, everything counts when it comes to free-to-play. Not to be rude. 40. I'm actually 40, Willow. I've been playing since the time of Nintendo. Regular Nintendo. I still have my regular Nintendo. Which is funny because I have regular Nintendo, I have Sega, I have Nintendo 64, I have Super Nintendo, I have the Xbox, I have the PlayStation, I have the Wii. I pretty much have just about everything. How big does stats change when they reach Ascended? When you're taking heroes up to a level, their stat boost is 20%. So if you take a hero from Mythic to Mythic Plus, the stat boost is roughly 20% is what people say. When you're adding stars to heroes, so when you're going from Ascended like Chimera to adding 1 star, it adds roughly 2.5% of stats. That's why it's a big focus. Like since Chimera is already to an Ascended level, dropping her out of the wish list, because if I get more copies of her, it's going to have little effect. If I get copies of another hero that I could possibly get Ascended in the future, will be a huge, huge upgrade versus just adding more stars to Chimera. Should you save her summons as free to play? I'm save it. A lot of people, Mondo, just use them as they get them. That's what I do for the most part. Here I save them until I stream. That way I can do the summons. I did 1 or 2 this weekend. I summoned with, I think, the 30 scrolls I got last week. Was a little while ago. Look how hard Chimera just absolutely dominates. Is ascending levels much bigger stat increase than leveling up? It's both. You have to have both. When you look at the stats, going from not only getting higher stats, so let's say when your hero goes from level 140 to 160 or 200 to 220, the higher you are level, the higher the stat raises per level that you go up. So the higher you're going, the faster it's actually going to go. Including with that is the big thing is when you hit any level, so once you use your hero essence to level up, once you hit that cap, you unlock more skills. And some of the skills like Rowan's Healthy Supplies or Lucius's Shield, you have to have them leveled up to be super, super effective. Because if Rowan's not pulling in more potions at level, I think it's 141, makes a huge, huge difference for the game. Because you need the abilities, not just the raw stats. Favorite PS4 game, Call of Duty. I still play Call of Duty. I've played pretty much all of them going back to Modern Warfare, which I know was a couple games ago. But I still do love Modern Warfare. Is Isolde a good tank? Isolde is good in the Graveborn Tower. He's the really good, because when you have to think of Isolde, Isolde has the ability to stun, he has the ability to do AoE damage, and he has the ability to heal. So looking at that factor alone with Isolde, that's the big thing that the Graveborns don't have. So when you look at Isolde, he has the stuns, like I said, he has the AoE, he has the heal. The Graveborn class doesn't have that. So he does very, very well in the Graveborn Tower because he can heal himself. He's his own support class. He can keep himself alive, which makes a huge, huge difference when it comes to the survivability of the team. There's a lot of heroes that just really, really shine. Like I've been using Titus in the Mauler Tower. Can I contact you about summoning on Discord? Yeah, Mundo, you sure can. I've been using Titus in the Mauler Tower, and because of the Mauler classes lacking CC, similar to Graveborn with the healing, Titus does super, super well in the Mauler Tower if you haven't used him. So what I did, and I'll go through when I look at the faction accounts, I've went and built all of the off heroes on my faction accounts to try them. For instance, when you look at my my Graveborn account, for instance, I built Kelthar. He's the only account that I have on Kelthar. One of my faction accounts have an Ascended Kelthar, which I've never built. A lot of the heroes that I've built on there are heroes that I've never built anywhere else, to see how well they do, see their usefulness, see how they kind of pair with the faction towers. And like I said, with the Mauler team, Titus is very, very good in the Mauler Tower. It's okay, Willow. Have a good night. My Wilder account, my team consists of Solus, Cirrus, Lyca, Taylene, and Rowan. I also have Legendary Eron. What should I spend Spotter on? Eron. Eron's always the first one. So when you look at the Wilder team, the Wilder team is based on Eron. The whole entire team is based on Eron's ability to slow and the ability to CC, are the two biggest things, and the ability to do an insane, crazy amount of damage. So if you pair Eron with like a Solus, is very, very powerful, and that's why I'm trying to build Solus on the Wilder account, is her damage output with the Floral Spectre is very, very high, especially when you get her signature item plus 30. Absolutely devastating with the amount of damage that she can do with her Floral Spectre. Do you play Warzone? Nope, never played Warzone. I'm really, really specific about the games I play just because I don't have much time. As you guys know, I do all the YouTube thing. I do have a full-time job. I have 2 kids. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. So it's kind of crazy on the day-to-day. So I've tried a lot. I tried 7 Deadly Sins. Didn't like it very much. Tried a couple games. If you guys have ever checked out FG3000's channel, he's the reason I started AFK Arena. I was just happened to be on YouTube, wasn't playing anything but Clash of Clans back then. seen this game, picked it up, started playing it, have never stopped. And like I said, it's been probably about a year, right around the release, because he does videos on brand new games that are coming out. So he did the video on AFK Arena. I picked it up. I think he was doing a pay-to-win account at that point, which was pretty cool. Now Titus isn't OP, but he's God. Yeah, exactly, Donnie. That's where I've used Titus, is when I put him in the tower. So to use Titus properly, the only way that I found him work really, really well is I put him right behind Screg. So looking at the team comp, Screg actually pushes the front line back, and Titus comes in right behind him and pushes the front line and fears. What about Nimisu? Nimisu, I am super, super disappointed in. I actually have him at, I believe, 1 star at this point with a level 10 signature item. I borrow my other account's K-Sauce with level 10 signature item, which is at 1 star. So trying to keep it as even as possible. The life leech ability at K-Sauce does way more than Nimisu does with the totems. Way more healing, just way, way more damage. So I wish, looking back, that I would have saved the copies of K-Sauce and built him instead of building Nimisu at this time. Yeah, because he only does a percentage over time, and then when he uses his ult, it fires off the totems. Well, the big problem with him is if the totems are dead, then the ult doesn't do very, very much because the totems are dead. He's prioritized on the totems being alive, essentially. We just need Lucius higher here. Which I know we got the Shimira push up top, which is doing very, very well. So I think we can get through Brutus's immunity. That's kind of the big one. If you've seen the Wilder team, Brutus just absolutely dominates the Wilder team. It's kind of crazy. But I think we've already went through 20 plus 24 stages on here already. Fate, Grand Order. No, I haven't tried it. Like I said, there's a lot of games. I played Clash of Clans for years and years with all my real life buddies. So we had a clan over there, which this I was actually going to reset. So let's reset these two. No, we won't worry about that. If you reset 2 heroes at the same time, you can't. You have to manually level them up. And I found that out the hard way. So he is Elite Plus, Elite Plus. We'll reset Rowan. And then we can get Screg up. So I believe we have, yeah, we have more than enough. So we're going to get 141 there. And then with Arden, we'll go ahead and we'll level up to 141. So now everyone gets 141. So the big thing is, like, Lucius is now at 141. He gets his bigger skill. So big thing to worry about the resonating crystal. So we can actually take these guys. I think we got about, what, 3 levels? Yep, 3 levels on each. So 144. So now Lucius is 144. Hopefully with a little higher ability. Oops, Rowan's still level 1. We can't have a level 1 Rowan. So we'll pop him in there. I'm still T9 in Clash of Clans. I haven't played. Yeah. Like I said, Clash of Clans. And I'm very particular to games similar to this as well, just because it's very easy to pick up and there's no time constraint where you're not going to sit down and play for, you know, hours and hours and hours. Because again, I don't have the amount of time to sit and play for that long. But we should have this one. There we go. We got it down. How about Rigby? In heroes like Rigby he's a decent hero. He's not absolute horrible. He's not fodder. He's situational. Is AFK your favorite mobile game ever? Yeah, AFK Arena is. This is totally 100% my kind of game. Like I said, one that I can pick up. I can play when I can play. And I've played a lot of games through the years. I mean a ton of games. Use Brutus. Oh, instead of Lucius. Well, I'm hoping he'll live a little bit. He did there. No, and the problem is, just like with a lot of heroes, is when you look at Rigby, is okay, we'll look at the Lightbearer team. There's so much competition for the Lightbearer team, or even so much competition for heroes overall, that you can go ahead and just backline some of the heroes similar to like Rigby, just for the fact that, which I don't have, oh, that's right. Rowan's gear got unequipped. A lot of them you can just kind of backline because they have so many other heroes. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the live stream. First ever cam live stream, as you can see. Been wanting to do it for a while, was waiting for the cam to go on. And if anyone's looking to buy a cam, try it online. They are absolutely nowhere. Very, very difficult to get a camera nowadays. I think it's because so many people are at home right now. So Brutus is doing a little bit of survivability down there just for the fact that he can shield. And Rose got it off. She got off her ult. So we should be able to take down Brutus on this one. There we go. And as we're continuing our progression here, we're almost done with 15, so we are just cruising right through. Yeah, and that's the problem, Luke. When you look at Rigby, he isn't very bad, but you have Lucius, which is a good tank. You have Hendrik, which is a good tank. You have a Skrilda, which is a good tank. Then you have the Graveborns. Then you have, Scrag. There's so much competition now because Lilith has added so many heroes to the game that there's essentially just so many heroes, and there's such a variety of heroes, essentially. You have such a huge choice to the variety of heroes you can pick. Rolling up, back, not in the middle. Oh, you want me to put him behind Chimera? Up there, Javid? Who's your favorite hero in terms of design? Honestly, Luke, I would say Taylene. Not only for the ability that she has, just her overall skill set. The art on her is just absolutely crazy. Such a cool hero, such cool animations, and her skill set. I mean, a hero that dies and then comes back alive. Not much you can say, because that's pretty overpowered, honestly. And if you haven't built Taylene, I always say, when in doubt, build Taylene. I love Arthur as well, just because I love Arthur in the Knights of the Round Table. If you've watched King Arthur, I love the remake they did with the actor from Sons of Anarchy. I forget his name right now. But I think it was Jude Law and Eric Bannon, and I forget him. Try tanks without Rosline. Try 2 tanks? Yeah, Mahira's good too. Mahira is Tassie on crack. So essentially Tassie does a ultimate, which is an AoE sleep. Mahira does an AoE mind control that just mind controls the whole entire team. So she is a very, very powerful hero. Very tough to deal with too. I think Shamira's off the map here, so I don't even know what's going on. Golas pushed her off the map. We should be able to get it down, though. There it is. Yeah, I love how they built Arthur. The Yukio, not so much. A lot of people are really disappointed with him. As you've seen from the video I did on him, I bought him in his gear. Not worth it. Not worth buying it with his gear at all. Just for the fact that I wanted to see him. And I was still trying to get Arthur's gear, which I finally got. If you guys haven't seen, I have all of Arthur's gear. Finally, after his release, I bought it. I was waiting for his weapon. Mizoth is a monster. Yes, Mizoth is an absolute crazy monster. If you guys haven't seen, I tried him out in chapter 27. I think it was chapter 27. When I tried him out, and yeah, Mizoth is an absolute monster. He was at Elite, and he still just absolutely destroyed heroes, which was so funny to see him at Elite. We might have hit our little Chimera wall here. Maybe. If we can get... There we go. Got the heal off. Yeah, Donnie. Like I said, I wanted to. I wanted to make sure. Plus, I don't have to buy any of his gear in the store. And that was the other reason, Donnie, is I've been focusing on buying T1 and T2 stones and finishing out all of the mythic gear that I have. And not having to buy any of his gear in the store made it so much easier just because I have his gear. So I don't have to worry about spending all of my points in the store. So once we do, we'll push it probably 2 or 3 more times. Once we get to a stage and we really can't finish the stage, then I switch over to the tower. So we'll actually push the tower. Which Rowan's dying really easy now. The heroes, which we should have a double alt here, might be able to get it down. We got it. Do I take T-Lean, Mahira Twins, or red emblems from events? I always go red emblems. The last event, we did buy a copy of the twins, just so we had a copy of the twins. But when you look at the sheer cost, the cost, you can usually get a hero from the Stargazer versus, yeah, if you're spending money in the game, but you can usually get gems to get a hero from the Stargazer, where red chests are super, super expensive. For 10 red chests, it's like 2,000 diamonds, I think, which is absolutely crazy. And at 5,000 diamonds, you can try to do the Stargazer, but with the Stargazer, the big thing is you get all of the artifact pieces. That's kind of the big thing with the Stargazer. Did you start all the faction accounts? Yes, I actually did. I started them on the same day. Same day over 4 servers. Do 5 losses in a row. We're getting there. This is 1540, so we're almost done with chapter 15 already. Which again is crazy. This is how you Brutus cheese, just like there's a Thorin cheese. Brutus you can cheese pretty hard just because of his immunity shield, as you can see. It's a good way to set it up, because if they're instantly killing Lucius like they were, you get your immunity, a little time of immunity there. I think this team just might be a little bit too tough. Yeah, Zolrath, a lot of them are really, really good. Like Zolrath is really good. What are you using all those monitors? Oh, the monitors back there? Or the other way? We actually have 3 different computers hooked up to those monitors. Get CCM Pharrell with Nara. See, I know Pharrell. I don't know how long Brutus is going to last. Oh, not Pharrell, Nara. My bad. We'll give it a try because he's got the triple fear. Oh, I was hoping they wouldn't kill Rose at that point. For not having support, man, they do a ton of damage. We'll try this route, and we'll hide Rowan in the back. It just seems once Brutus goes down, the rest of it kind of crumbles. Yeah, we could try dropping her out and adding more CC if it went with the 3 combo. There's the Fears, which we got Naru. No, I don't think so. It's okay though. We'll go ahead and we'll collect up. Want to get all of our summons. We'll do our campaign points. So we should have enough for probably another summon, if not maybe 2 more, which would be good. Pharrell also sucks in the campaign. Yeah, Donnie, Pharrell is kind of crazy. So that gives us 4,700. So I don't think we're going to have enough to do much of anything. Hopefully, if we get a good hero here, Savius. All right, we'll take a Mauler. Let's do one more summon. Does anyone have no luck with the mythic loot trick? No, it seems like they hotfixed it, and that's quite a bit of rares. We were doing the 1-day trick for a while, and it worked for days and days and days. It worked for quite a while, and then all of a sudden it didn't. I don't know what they hotfixed, but... So we got Savius, we got 3 here, which, again, just don't have enough to get anyone much higher. Seems like we're going to have to do 1 or 2 more summoning sessions, and we'll be able to get a couple of heroes. But we still have to do the labyrinth too. The King's Tower will go with our same setup here. We'll try with Brutus. Yeah, Pharrell is pretty tough. Yeah, Jake, I have a face. It's not just a voice you hear, the computer-generated voice. Everyone's been wanting a webcam, so there is the webcam. Usually the enemy Pharrell goes into Fawkes' coffin. Yeah, Fawkes is such a powerful hero. He has so many strong abilities, not only to buff defense, to clear the enemy buffs, to clear the allied side, and to do his confine ability is just, it's absolutely huge with the amount of utility that Fawkes brings. And he's another hero that you're not super reliant on damage from. That way you don't have to worry about racing to get him to Ascended, because, again, you don't have to worry about his damage being super, super high. He's not there to do damage. You should do the webcam in videos too. I'm going to. I actually got the webcam today. So this is the very, very first. The problem with the webcam in videos is most of it I do on my iPad. And I can't get the videos to record while I record. I have to actually go back and I'd have to add video to it. Just like some of them I have to add sound, because the sound comes off really, really weird with the Apple device. I don't know why. It seems like every couple videos I have to go ahead and just reload everything because the sound doesn't work properly. He actually does some damage. Yeah. What's going on, Lord? Yeah, Fawkes can definitely do some damage because he has his own ability to buff his haste, which makes a very, very big difference. And here we're fighting Sylvana. Sylvana's very tough to kill as well. And we're going to have double immunity here. So this is going to be a defeat. Hard to deal when it comes to teams like this, just because you are going to have, short of shielding, kind of to shield it with Lucius and wait it out. Do not fodder Hendrik. No, Hendrik's pretty good. The problem with Hendrik is similar to some other heroes, is his ability is, he has 2 of his 4 abilities that are single use only. So essentially the first time he used the ability, it's out for the rest of the match. So if he uses the abilities early, he drops a lot of his utility because he's already used the abilities. Get Sylvana with Nara. Yeah, we got through it. Arden's the one here, so even if we drop... I'll probably drop Belinda out, honestly. I know she does damage, but most of the time she just dies. But if we can grab Arden here... At least not getting the first round of the roots. It's very close. Well, thank you, Mondo. I'll contact you on Discord about summoning. Sure. Yeah, I'll do some summons. Very, very cool. I like doing the summons. The viewer summons. When you look at AFK Arena, it's a game that you love to summon. You love to get good pulls. You love to see the pulls. Takes a while to build up to do the pulls, but when you actually get to do the pulls, I love doing summons. Viewer summons are cool. I see why Vulcan does it, and he does it so often because it is very, very cool to see the heroes you pull. I mean, I think on one we pulled like 6 copies or 5 copies of Oden. I wish I had luck on my main account. I don't. I very, very rarely have good summoning luck. Even I've used 30,000 diamonds, which I'm still editing the video, 30,000 diamonds in the Stargazer. So I did 6 pulls, 0 copies of Taline. So still trying to do more pulls to get Taline. I have her at Mythic Plus. So she's very, very close. I just need more copies of her, essentially. I know, Donnie. And if it's going to hinder your progression in any way, it's hard to save up. It really is. That's why I'm very, very dedicated with the faction accounts, is I only do summons every 7 days. So roughly in 7 days, I pick up 15,000 diamonds is usually the average, short of codes, events, stuff like that. So roughly getting the 15,000 diamonds every week is roughly where the accounts are. Yeah, I've heard that the 7th is guaranteed just by the sheer numbers, because it's like I think the 2% rate. So once you get over to a certain point in the Stargazer, it's not guaranteed, but pretty close to guaranteed just because of sheer math. Doesn't mean you're going to pull it, because as Lilith has said, it is not guaranteed. The first pull is not guaranteed, and they have been clear about that the pull is not guaranteed. So let's see, I was trying to pull a couple chests, maybe have enough. Little more fodder there. It's probably not going to be enough for anything. So we're not going to have enough for any more summons on here. 25, we're close. Well, let's go ahead and run through the Arcane Labyrinth really quick. We're about 48 minutes in. Usually like to do live streams for about an hour. So if we can buzz through here really quick, pull a couple of diamonds out of here, we'll be able to do one more summon. We made a ton of progression. We pushed through all of 15. So from the very first stage to the very last stage of chapter 15. Rowan up. Or do you want him in the middle or the top, Javid? Let me know. Yeah, Arden is just a pain in the butt. Cirrus, I want to build, and I think I'm going to build him just to see how well he does versus using Almas. It was kind of up in the air because Almas and Cirrus are pretty close. The big thing with Cirrus is he does the arcing damage, so he does a lot more damage. He has a different CC than what Almas does with Roots. In the tower, Rowan up. Always go Moonstone. You want him in the very top? Like up there? Most of the time in here we can just auto it, especially because of Chimera. Once Chimera ults, usually everyone will die in 2 or 3, and you'll see we'll stack relics. So here we don't have Verk. We'll go with, I like the Goblet, just for the fact that we do get a couple fountains through here. Don't use your Ascended Heroes as food, they may be reworked. Yeah, and that's the big thing, is a lot of the heroes do get reworked. And some of the reworks don't quite go as planned, but some of them actually go very, very well. Because they reworked pretty much the entire Mauler faction. Didn't really have that much of an effect, but then they reworked Rain. Again, didn't have that much of an effect. But then they reworked Scrag, and Scrag was just an absolute monster once they reworked him. So you never know, it could be coming. No Rowan in the King's Tower, Labyrinth, just Chimera. Yeah, and that's why I usually... Shards of Force are super, super powerful if you get them. I have my own guideline that I go by, so I have 2 Shards of Force already. If I don't pick up a Shard of Force in floor 1, I don't pick up any Shards of Force at all. I just skip them for the rest of the instance, just because the majority of the time you're not going to get enough shards to essentially have them effective. Yeah, we're going to lose Lucius here. I should put on auto, that way I can talk to you guys for a little bit. He is good in PvP. Yes, Donnie. There's a lot of heroes that are very, very good in PvP. He is one of them. When heroes in the campaign start getting higher than him, so once they start getting higher levels, his dodge is... Overall, dodge isn't very effective. And they die really, really easy because the enemy is on such a higher level than you are. So when they're on the same level, like PvP, he does really, really well because dodge is super effective. And Lucius, we lose again. Athalia. Which will pull Rose, but Rose can't move anymore, so we'll see if she dies. Nope, we got a shield. Perfect. Have you checked the labyrinth? Yeah. I've talked to Sushi a couple times. I like the tier list that he does. Some of the material that I've done in here is from his guides. So actually he does the visual representation, makes all of the very, very cool, very, very detailed guides. So taking just some of the information and putting it in kind of a video form, that way people can watch it versus reading it. But he does amazing, amazing guides. If you guys haven't checked out Reddit with White Sushi, very, very cool content. He breaks down a lot of the game mechanics, and they break a lot of it down on Reddit, which is very cool. If you've seen Chimera ult right there, just absolutely destroyed it. I like using this Angelic Thorn. Book of War is very good, reducing the backline as well. I know. That's what a lot of people have said. They waited a long time. And if you see, I got a really funny haircut here because my wife cut it. We've been quarantined for a significant amount of time, just like most other people. And I do need to shave. At my work, we can't have facial hair. But as you see, we've been quarantined at work too. So even when I go into work, I can't see anybody. Thank you, Javid. I know Javid's been waiting too. So am I anything like you guys pictured? I'm sure when you hear people and when you see them, you kind of picture them a certain way. Which I think it's always funny to see. But I think after this run, we're going to have enough to go ahead and do probably one more summons, which I'm hoping. And again, we just sit and hold Brutus. Yeah, Donnie, it is the quarantine cut. So it got to the point where I had to cut my hair because it drove me absolutely crazy. So we just ordered shears off of Amazon and just went ahead and cut it. I've had short my hair. Pictured you very different. That's what I figured, Javid. I think that's what most people think. Just think like dreadlocks and a big goatee. Yeah, me too. So I said a lot of people that I see, a lot of streamers, I don't even guess. Expecting you to be bigger. Nope, I'm not really that big. I've actually lost quite a bit of weight. My quarantine weight. I've actually lost about 15 pounds probably in about 2 weeks. We'll sub if you stop saying especially. Some of the weird things that I guess I never realized was the pronunciation of words, for one. I'm from North America in Michigan. We have a very, very unique dialect. It's very weird, the pronunciation of a lot of words. And everywhere that I've been, they've said the same. It's very hard to place the accent just with a lot of the words. I mean, the pronunciation of the words. It's kind of weird. We upgrade Rose to Mythic. Yes, I will. Yep. Yeah, she's one similar to Rowan. She's one just like the twins that you use for a ton of events. So to really maximize your damage, especially on bosses, a lot of different places, you'll use her. So it's essential to have her leveled up if you want to maximize your damage for the events. From your sound, I never expected you feel that I had more muscles, Wolf. I know, Donnie. That's what I mean. So it's kind of weird because like pajamas and pajamas are one thing that always kind of sounded funny. Just like pop and soda. Here we say pop. So I know down south in most of the world they call it soda. So just different to hear a lot of different words from where people are from. And here a lot of words kind of flow together. A lot of the E's and the A's and the I's just kind of flow together. You can use that mercenary. Yeah, I seen her sitting there. With Shamira, it's pretty easy. And this is why I feel like they need to change something up with the labyrinth. Yeah, it's great to run through the labyrinth, but it's a lot of the exact same that you kind of do just over and over and over. We say both Kansas. Try switching Belinda for Fawkes. Yeah, I don't have Fawkes. I don't think I have Fawkes at all on this account yet. I don't think we've unlocked Fawkes yet. There's a couple of heroes. I mean, short of using Pharrell would be the only hero that we could use. Scrag just died right there. But we should still be able to just Chimera. Once the alt goes off, you get 2 or 3 ticks, and that's pretty much it. And even when it comes to the US, I've lived just about everywhere, and I think that accounts for some of the unique pronunciation as well. I've lived from Florida to North Carolina to California to Tennessee to now Rowan in the middle. I was talking about the King's Tower. That's okay. Rowan did well up there. I'm happy for him. That burn on the wrist. I know. So it's funny because I'm making a video right now. A lot of people want to see the Labyrinth run with the faction towers. So what I've been doing is I'm just going to do the hard mode. So I'll run all 4 hard modes. Every team does really, really well except the Wilders. They're the only team that struggles all the way through the faction towers. Why don't you use BlueStacks for videos instead of the iPad? This is BlueStacks. This one's recorded on my desktop, and this one's recorded with through BlueStacks. The iPad, it's a little different. I tried to do, and another elite there. Copy of Rowan, another copy, which that might be enough. That might be enough to actually get Rowan up himself. And I apologize to everyone who hasn't pulled Rowan or hasn't pulled many copies of Rowan. Rowan and Rose are 2 heroes that I seem to pull a lot of copies of, which, oh, that's it. We still need one more. I thought that was our second copy to pull Rowan. And we need Lucius, so we need a couple more here to get a couple of these heroes up. How many monitors do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a laptop there, 6. I have an iPad and 2 more here. So we'll call it 8, maybe. About there. Well, my wife mainly, that's her desk back there. What's going on? I am the best. She works from home a majority of the time. So she's busy as can be, and she's usually right back there using all the monitors. And then we have kids, well, right now that are kind of homeschooled. So with school being canceled due to COVID, they are completely working or schooling from home every single day. I always buy these little gems, which we could use some boots, but remember, focusing on Chimera, oh, no faction. That's saying so. Labyrinth, I don't think we have enough to get anybody up at this point. Legend Tournament, nobody either there, so we'll just keep banking. But we did a lot of progression in this. All right. Make a giveaway of your monitors. We got, see you later, Shadow. Pharrell first, Nara can work in lower. Yeah. And I think for the Ascensions, we just need, like I said, if I had one more Elite Plus, we could get some people up here. We could get Pharrell. Unless I just take him to Legendary Plus. Let me know what you guys think. So I can take Pharrell, use these copies. We can get him to Legendary. We can get him to Legendary Plus. Keep Pharrell at Legendary Plus. What do you think, Javid? Should we go Pharrell? Is Solus a good carry early game compared to Chimera if you're running a Wilders team? Solus is good. She just has to, her Floral Spectre has to live a lot of it. But even if it dies, she does a lot of damage. Her and Lorzen are both pretty good. Yes, Pharrell. All right. Javid has spoken. We'll go with Pharrell. I'm thinking, yeah, it's not gonna make a difference which copies we use, because either way. All right. So we got Pharrell's gear that takes him to Legendary Plus. So we'll sit on copies of him. No one else here. So let's look at the Wilder team. So we have Leica, which again, we could take Leica to Legendary Plus. We could take Leica to Mythic with this copy. Yeah, I absolutely love him, Javid. Pharrell does so very well. Yeah, Donnie, I pulled like 6 or 7 copies of him. I pulled, we have 1 or 2, 4, 6, I think 7 copies of Nara already. And of course we pulled Chimera. That's where all of our food went. So Wilders, like I said, we could get Leica up, but we'd have to use fodder. We have 3 here, which again, we don't have a double copy of either Brutus or Verk at this point. We could get Celia up, but again, she's just going to sit at legendary. So we'll wait on those two. So I believe that'll just about do it for tonight. We can level up our tree once more, which is good. Resonating Crystal, we swap some heroes in there. Make sure I put Pharrell's gear back on him. And I think we took all of Lucius's gear too. So we'll go ahead and throw his gear back on him. And then make sure we got Pharrell. I got to throw him in the crystal too. There he is. And just for fun, we'll go ahead and put Sophia in there too. Because unfortunately I got destroyed in the Mauler tower, but I'm thinking being on a higher level, actually having Sophia up to 144 will make a big difference. Pharrell's best skill unlocks at 221. Yeah. So if you looked, Andre, I took, I believe, Thorin to 240 on my Graveborn account. I think I'm going to go ahead and reset Thorin, and I'm going to get Pharrell up to a higher level. How many tournament points? You mean on my main account? How many tournament points? Because I think season just finished for Legends on the main accounts. So even here, I can go through and switch all the gear and everything. Plus 10, I think, is just diamonds at this point. Yep, 360 diamonds. So very, very cool. We can push that progression a little bit. I do have to run all of my Arcane Labyrinths tonight, so I have a ton of Arcane Labyrinths to run. But let's see if we can get 145, 145. So we're going to be stuck at 145 there. But we should be able to get some gear up. Anytime that you don't have faction gear, we got really lucky with the faction hat there. If it's not faction, don't take it past 3 stars. 3 stars is the very, very max for non-faction gear because it's gear essentially that you're going to be replacing shortly. You're not going to have the gear for that long before you start replacing it with other gear. I'm trying to think of a team that we could win this one with. They need to add more peaks. I know. They definitely need more peaks of time. They need something. My thought was something that's kind of a more, I guess, like a more epic adventure, like something that's going to go through stages or go through progression. Something that's just going to take a little bit longer. See you later, Wolf. Have a good night. We're about done. We're a little bit over an hour now. Something that's going to take a little bit longer kind of to go through versus it just being so quick. And that's what I was hoping they would do with the voyages. But most of the voyages take, once you know kind of the ideal run, take just a couple minutes. 99¢, but not getting it, so we'll progress into chapter 16 already. And thank you to Catnip for letting me borrow. And 12 more, and another copy of Chimera. It's 12 scrolls. I think it was Mauler Day. I don't know if you guys seen the hilarious meme that was on Reddit, but it said, anytime that you feel bad, just think someone is using their faction scrolls for Maulers. I thought it was so hilarious when I heard it, when I read it. I think it was earlier today. Yep, one more copy of Chimera there. And then I believe that will just about do it. I think I might have got rid of one of my support heroes there. That's okay, we'll add Chimera in there. Bounty board's all done, so that will conclude it. We did everything we wanted to today. And look at that. We started today at 15-1. We ended today at 16-1. So the entire chapter with an easy Chimera carry. So very, very cool. I believe that is about everything. We'll complete our weeklies. We'll get a couple more victories there. And then we will continue on the next stream to push the campaign almost to level 100 already, which is kind of crazy. And we'll continue throughout the week to accumulate diamonds and accumulate our scrolls so we can do some summons. Just pulled the triple Taline and Stargazer. Very, very nice. That's cool. Only thing that I got a double. I got a double Taline, never pulled a triple, but that's kind of crazy. I need 3. I need 3 more Taline copies to get her ascended. So absolutely crazy. Yeah, Sophia's nuke, her falling star ability is super powerful. And Mahira's good too. So you got a lot. I know, the shortness of the dust. The events lately, especially because of hitting the 1-year event, was really, really good as the free-to-play account. I do have to get another hero to Mythic because I'm stockpiling my primordial emblems, so I could be getting a lot more. So we'll see exactly who we're going to get. It might be Nara or Pharrell just because we have a lot of copies of them. And we know Pharrell is going to go endgame. We know he's an endgame hero. Lucius is really good. And with this being free to play, the Celestials and the Hypogeans are going to be far, far down the road. But I'm going to stick to White Sushi. If you haven't seen White Sushi's guide, when you get 12 Ascended Heroes, so when you get a solid 12, start doing the stargazing. And that's where we're going to start stargazing for Taline. So everything's going to go for Taline once we get to that point. So hopefully we can do a few good pulls of her and continue the progression. So we're only on 95. I mean, they're on 125 here. He's on 135. So even though we're quite a bit behind on level, we are definitely not behind on chapters. No, as of right now, I usually check at least 2 or 3 times the bounty board. Not really an event, but it is an event. They say it's an event. So very, very cool. Just make sure your 100% bonus is awesome, because that is a lot of loot that you're going to get over the course of a week. No, I can't, Donnie. I thought about it, but I already have enough accounts to run it consistently and give it the time and devotion, especially already having the main account, the faction accounts, the free-to-play. A lot already going on and a lot of time invested in the game. But like I said, AFK Arena right now is the only game that I play. Absolutely love it. Definitely a super, super cool mobile game that you can just pick up and just run with. So it's very, very cool. So that'll conclude it. We're about an hour, 12 minutes. It's almost going on 11 o'clock here, which is my bedtime. I do have to work in the morning. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me in the live stream. Absolutely love live streaming, being able to talk to you guys. It is very, very cool. Maybe one day I'll start the Celestial or Hypogen account, but it will not be tonight. I even looked at Smash Mode's challenge, the 90-day challenge, which, again, starting another account, we want to get a lot more progression, a lot of time and effort put into these accounts to get them where they are, and also focusing on the heroes that we do want to build at this point. So hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Finally got the webcam, so from now on, when I do the videos on the computer, you'll see me on the webcam, which is very cool, especially when we do the summons. So if you want to do any viewer summons, just go ahead and hit me up in the email address furryhippogaming@gmail.com. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Again, thank you for joining me for the live stream, and you guys have a good night.